The Degree Progress Report, or DPR, is a report based on the university catalog that shows a student's progress towards completing a bachelor's degree. Let's look at this DPR of a student in the multimedia production option. There is some important information at the top of each page, including your name and student ID number. You should also see the department and the option you are in. If your DPR does not show multimedia production, then you need to have this changed so that it does. You can do this online through the My Northridge portal. The graduation date will be displayed as unknown until your application to graduate has been processed. Finally, your catalog year is based on when you were accepted as a student at CSUN. Let's jump down to the general education requirements. These are the requirements that all students must complete. You should complete most of your general education courses during your first 2 years. As you can see, the DPR is divided up into sections along 2 columns per page. An OK at the top of the section indicates that the section has been completed. The further along you are in the program, the more OKs you will have. Once all sections of your DPR are OK, you have completed all program requirements for a bachelor's degree. A plus sign indicates that a specific requirement has been met. Usually this is a course requirement. The semester the course was taken, the course title, the number of units earned, the grade, and a shortened name of the course should be displayed. Moving to the top of column 2, we see a section that has a No instead of an OK. A No at the top of a section indicates that the requirements in that section are not yet complete. In No sections, you will have one or more minus signs indicating specific requirements that have not been met. A course list will usually be provided that lists all the courses you may choose from in order to complete the requirement. Let's look closer at this student's natural science requirement section. While most courses are 3 units, in this case 8 units are required. 2 3-unit lecture courses and 2 1-unit lab courses. So far, the student has only completed 6 units. The plus sign indicates that the student has completed the lecture courses with a passing grade. While D's certainly hurt the student's overall GPA, which employers do look at, the poor grades were enough to meet the minimum requirement. The minus sign indicates the student has not completed the lab courses. While it is suggested that students take the lecture and corresponding lab simultaneously, it is not required, and in fact is sometimes difficult to do due to course availability. The remaining sections on this page have been completed. Moving down to the General Education Upper Division section, you see that all students are expected to take 9 units of GE Upper Division courses. The number of course options here are many, with the list extending onto the next column. Notice that these courses can be taken the same semester in which you will be achieving junior standing. That is because these classes are all upper division, 300 or 400 level. Lower division courses are 100 and 200 level and are mostly taken by freshman and sophomore students. This student has completed 6 units, so still needs to take 1 more course from the list to complete the section. The next couple of sections are complete. Let's look at the Title V requirements. The students completed 1 of the requirements by earning a D in History 371. Notice there are 2 minus signs following this, but the course list is almost the same for both. In this case, taking 1 course that is on both lists will fulfill both requirements. Moving on to the writing skills requirement, it is clear that this student completed a course to fulfill the first requirement. However, the second requirement is unique. It is not a course at all. This upper division writing requirement is actually an essay exam that all students must pass. Students should take this exam as soon as they have completed 56 units. Students who have not taken the exam after completing 75 units will not be able to register for courses. To sign up for an exam time, go to the website provided in the DPR. Finally, we have moved past the general education courses that all students are required to take and are ready to look at the requirements for the specific major program you have chosen. For CTVA Multimedia Production students, the pre-CTVA courses should be taken first, as a freshman and sophomore. That is why the courses listed here are lower division, 1 and 200 level. All the CTVA students are expected to take CTVA 100 and CTVA 210. Multimedia production students are also expected to take CTVA 220. The choice between taking CTVA 230, 240, and 250 is misleading. CTVA 240 and CTVA 250 are no longer options unless you are switching to multimedia production from the TV or film option. Multimedia production students are now expected to take CTVA 230, Fundamentals of Audio Production, or CTVA 196DF, Introduction to Digital Filmmaking. Completing these courses is important because they are required before taking the upper division courses for the program. Note that for all CTVA courses, a grade of C or better is required. The multimedia production option requirements is the heart of the program. You can read about these courses in the forums on the Moodle page. Note that the course list for the upper division elective area only has a few courses listed. While the Internship 494 courses are highly encouraged, they are not required. Many students take other upper division courses instead. You can see which elective courses are popular by checking the forums on the Moodle page. Immediately after the program requirements, you will likely see a list of courses that count toward the total units required for a degree, but not for any other requirements in the DPR. This student currently only has one such class, in which an A was earned. The upper division courses that you take for your 6 units of multimedia elective courses will appear here until the appropriate substitution forms are processed. At that point, they will move to the upper division elective area portion of the DPR. The next section lists several additional requirements that must be met before graduation. First, 120 units must be completed. This student has earned 51 units so far, so has 69 units remaining, not including any courses that are in progress. With less than 60 units completed, this student is in sophomore standing. This DPR must have been generated between semesters because there were no courses in the DPR listed as in progress. If any courses are in progress when the DPR is generated, the courses will be listed in the appropriate sections with an IP shown in place of the grade. The remaining plus and minus signs indicate whether or not other overall requirements have been met, such as the number of upper division courses completed. Most of these will be satisfied as you complete the program, but you may want to look them over, especially as you near graduation. Note that students are required to maintain a 2.0 GPA in all coursework taken at CSUN. This student does not have good grades, but with a 2.14 GPA has managed to stay just above the required GPA. Students that fall under a 2.0 are placed on academic probation. Of course, if you are serious about working in multimedia production, you should be aiming much higher. Remember that your DPR is simply a summary of how you are progressing towards completing your degree based on the requirements listed in the university catalog.